Hello, pilots! In this episode, we will discuss consumables and ammunition. You'll learn the difference between types of ammunition belts, as well as how to destroy enemy aircraft with rockets and bombs. To equip your aircraft with ammunition and consumables, click Service. Here you will find several option menus and learn more about equipment options. You must mount ammunition belts in your aircraft before entering a battle. Let's take a closer look. Ammunition belts have two properties. The first is damage, displayed as a range between two values. The lowest number is damage per second at the weapon's maximum firing distance, while the highest number is damage per second at point-blank range. The second property is chance of fire. Notice, this chance is not calculated for a single round or shell. This is an average chance of fire for a 1-second burst, providing that all rounds hit a fuel tank. Average, meaning that each fuel tank has a certain chance of catching fire depending on its design. When a fuel tank is damaged, its chance of fire increases by half. There are 7 different types of ammunition belts in World of Warplanes: standard, armor-piercing, incendiary, solid-core armor-piercing incendiary, high-explosive, and high-explosive incendiary. No nation can use every type of ammunition belt. However, standard, armor-piercing, and incendiary belts are available for all autocannon and machine guns of every in-game nation. The default ammunition belt is standard. The damage displayed in a weapon's specifications is calculated for a standard ammunition belt. Standard shells do not have any additional effects. Cost is their only advantage, as they are the cheapest. Incendiary rounds cause the lowest damage, but have a greater chance of setting an enemy aircraft on fire. The last type of belt available to every nation is armor-piercing. AP shells can't set an enemy aircraft on fire, but cause more damage than standard or incendiary rounds. Other types of belts have a combination of effects. They differ in damage rates and chances of causing fire. For example, solid-core armor-piercing shells cause maximum damage. High-explosive rounds do less damage, but provide a greater opportunity to set an enemy aircraft on fire. There is one exception, however. A high-explosive incendiary belt does greater damage than an incendiary belt, as well as having the greatest chance of causing fire. That's why they cost so much. It's important to note that the type of ammunition belt only affects the amount of damage. Accuracy and weapon overheating are not dependent on belt type. Now, let's talk about outboard weapons. Characteristic features of bombs and rockets are their damage and explosive range. By using weapons with great explosive range, you can destroy both ground targets and enemy aircraft. Here's an example. An aircraft is hedge-hopping with an enemy fighter on its tail. It drops bombs that detonate after a few seconds. That's enough time for the attack aircraft to fly away, while the enemy fighter flies right into the bomb's blast radius. Of course, the enemy is more likely to avoid the blast radius, though this kind of luring tactic can be one of the most interesting ways to get rid of an annoying pursuer. Unlike bombs, rockets detonate once they impact their target. When launched, they explode after a few seconds. There are several ways of destroying hostile aircraft with rockets. If an enemy aircraft is flying at low altitude, use proper lead and fire. Hopefully, the blast radius will destroy it. Using rockets at high altitude is quite challenging. Players' skill is crucial here, and only practice will make perfect. These are some basic things you should know. To destroy an aircraft that crosses your path with a rocket, you must know the velocity of the rocket and apply correct lead. It's much easier to do this in a head-on attack or when attacking an enemy from behind. Launching several rockets at once increases your chance of destroying an enemy aircraft. The lead compensating aiming point is calculated for the largest caliber autocannon or machine guns mounted on the aircraft. That's why you should not use it when launching rockets, as they are slower than rounds or shells. The distance that rockets travel before they detonate differs depending on the model of a rocket. Do some experiments or find more information on the World of Warplanes official forum. Now, let's take a look at consumables. While you can enter a battle without consumables, they make gameplay more enjoyable. A consumable's description gives a clear and simple explanation of their properties. Gasoline is consumed immediately upon entering a battle. Automatic fire extinguishers activate in case of fire. Other consumables are manual and require you to press a button to use them. Buttons correspond to cells, where consumables have been placed. You have to resupply consumables that were used after each battle. Flag a checkbox to do this automatically. That's all for now. Get airborne!